Hey traders, this is Christian from Tribeca Trade Group with your end of day recap for Wednesday the 10th. Kind of a little bit of a choppy day once again, but there was a little bit more to do. Some nice, unusual option activity, nice aggressive call volume today. So we're going to go over a couple of those. I just want to go over quickly with the indices what we saw today and how we were able to profit. Another nice profitable day, even though the market's kind of flattish to up a little bit. Uh, so here's where the key levels were. Last night, S&P, we fell. The 1 hour chart will really give you some nice levels, especially when if you're using the value areas, like we do here. You just can't. I don't know how, as traders say in our trading room, I don't know how you can trade without them because you know exactly where support is. So and it's just it happens so many times where that's as far as we go in terms of support and resistance, and I'll show you two examples of that. This morning, we did see a little bit, I wouldn't even call it volatility, but a little bit of a move right into, we were down about 15, 20 basis points. Where did we fall? Right up, right into support. So support for the week. We talked about how we opened up this week above the value area, and the top of the value area was really nice support. Did we rage here? No, not really, but we could tell that today was not a breakdown day. And then in small caps, which actually outperformed, I'm not even going to really talk about the Qs too much because the Qs are really overbought between the three indices. So they've not been underperforming the last couple of days, and I think that's just because they really got overbought a bit. So a lot of the FANG stocks, I talk about this over and over, but if you just trade the FANG stocks, there's a lot other things that are going on because most of them really didn't move too much today because they're all a bit overbought. And I think they're going to come back, but it kind of cycles around a bit. So we'll talk about what some of the things where we made a lot of money today. But let's go through small caps. So what did they do today? They found support yesterday right at the bottom of value. Again, I can't make this stuff up. I don't draw these lines are drawn for us automatically. But where we found support yesterday, right at the bottom of value, that's as far as we went at 137.66. Today, where were we not able to get over in the small caps? The top of value. The market just doesn't want to break out yet. You could see right around what was this 1 o'clock today. You have this big bar. Price got above here and just didn't want to do it. And then every hour thereafter, for the rest of the afternoon, it was trying to climb above, and it won't get above the top of resistance. That just tells me that we're not. It's not really a danger. It just tells me that we're not ready to get above resistance. So, I very rarely. I don't like to, really try to sell our indicators. Our indicators sell themselves. I mean, if you can't make this up better than that in terms of resistance in IWM and support and the S&P. And this happens all day long where we kind of use these to trade. We don't like to really initiate positions too much when we've got resistance right in front of us. We like to initiate positions when we have nice support like we did earlier in the week in IWM and today in S&P. So that really kind of gives you a nice benchmark for the day. So what did we see today? The semis really were bid very well. NVIDIA, which you kind of knew with the day that NVIDIA had last night and into today. So AMD got a nice little move here and kind of ended up again. I'm on the hour bar, but retracing some of the move. If you look at the daily chart, you can see that it's starting to get a little bit away from the 200-day moving average. Real nice support for AMD. I have a trade on for AMD where I sold put spreads, which is working out quite well, right below that 200-day moving average. So nice trade there. Micron is looking pretty strong now. Completely got over that downgrade a couple days ago from Goldman. So real nice move there. AVGO. New 52-week high, Broadcom, beautiful. MRVL, which we got long yesterday, took a target in this thing. Beautiful signal yesterday in Marvell. Today's trade, which we've been all over these Chinese internets, which continue. They are really getting overbought, by the way. New 52-week high for KWeb. I know some people, we talked about this in the beginning of the day in the trading room. Some people, once they see unusual option activity or aggressive call activity, they're like, oh my God, BABA, they're buying calls. Hey, we've been finding this stuff 3 or 4 days beforehand. So that's why myself, a couple of my colleagues here at Tribeca Trade Group, Pat, we do our homework and we find these setups. We get into these trades before we see the unusual option activity. So you see a whole bunch of people on Twitter kind of giving themselves high fives because they saw unusual option activity yesterday in BABA. Hey, we've been in BABA for for over a week and had trades set up for that. So that's the value that we bring at Tribeca Trade Group. So just really excited that we caught this trend and a lot of these names. So YY, I didn't really hesitate when I saw this name that reported last night. Look at that bar for YY. So I actually made this trade into a call spread. Let me go to my trades blotter for the day. But I put this trade on. I made this into the 50-60 call spread because some of these Chinese internet names, they are very volatile. The implied volatility is really high, meaning the options are not cheap to get into. So I put this trade on for where is it? For a dollar 46, and we took targets all the way up to $2. I still have a portion of the trade on, so really, really nice trade in YY today. Another nice trade today. Delta, they bought a lot of calls. This one I didn't actually take anything off, but I think Delta looks pretty good. I've been watching the airlines move higher. Plus, it's not a bad place to be in with Mr. Buffett. So I'm in some Delta calls. I actually structured that as a call spread too. Names that we hit like home runs in, Chipotle. I've been adding to Chipotle basically in here. Huge day today, up $7. So really, really nice. What else? We talked about Broadcom was a big winner as well. Again, don't necessarily need unusual option activity for a lot of these trades. You know, they set up well on the charts. Marvell, we talked about that one. Vago, we took profits 250 entry on $1.48. I mean, you know, the percentage gain in that is just awesome. By the way, we did put on Nvidia. I bought a call spread and sold a put spread. So beautiful trade there in Nvidia. I had a feeling it was going to rage. We took a target in Penn today. I started a small position in Baidu just as a starter for now. HIG, a lot of calls traded in this one, so I don't really have a lot of financial exposure. Let me just go to my trade blotter for the day, and you could see just a lot of call volume today and a lot of little things. We didn't even get to the retailers yet, but HIG 10,000 of the June 50 calls. I was able to hit a target in this trade at the end of the day. We also saw a little bit of dip buying in Amazon today. We also saw a nice chunky play for Netflix as well, which also hit, I believe, a 52-week high today. So that was the one that, speaking of the FANG stocks, and I said they didn't really move too much, Netflix did move pretty well. The calls that went up were probably towards the middle of this run up here, but really nice day for Netflix. So don't let the contracts throw you off here. This was a pretty decent sized trade. This was 600 of the December 170 calls for 1170. So that's no small trade. That's $790,000 in premium. What else do we see? Then we saw a lot of activity in all the retailers. There was rumors that AEO approached Abercrombie. So a lot of calls traded in AEO, a lot of calls traded in Abercrombie, a lot of calls traded in Urban today, which is also on the list. A lot of calls and a smaller amount of calls traded in Express. Really, Urban and American, American Outfitters or American Eagle. A lot of those calls traded today. NRG, there was rumors that CPN is getting taken over. NRG and CPN calls traded as well. We saw a little bit of Amgen calls today as well, and then a lot of energy calls. You know, some of these energy calls are really tricky. I did not trade ESV, but there was a decent amount of calls that went up. It's just kind of a tricky name to play. Maybe something better to play in cash, considering it's an $8 stock. But there was 8,000 contracts. There was also some calls that went up in Devon, DVN. And a few neighbors, I think, as well. Neighbors, OAS, ATW. So, there was some dip buying going on in energy. I really didn't participate too much in energy. Also, some OIH calls that went up. But, I think you just want to, we kind of talked about this after the market closed today in the trading room that, you have to, this market is going to be very well, I don't know if it's going to be choppy going forward, but it's moving in a very, very small range. So I think you just really have to be patient, kind of add things, start positions, but don't start them. What I've been doing anyway is putting on positions, but not huge positions. And then if we get a little bit of a dip where the market's down 20 or 30 basis points, you add to it. And then you end up taking it off like I did in Chipotle. Chipotle, my average cost basis where I added a couple positions there was, this should be in here someplace. CMG, I don't see it actually. What if, yeah, so my average cost base was around 399, and I didn't start there. That was my average cost base. So a real nice target there. So that's how we've been trading, and we've been trading extremely successfully in this choppy market. We could talk more if you're in our trading room. TribecatTradeGroup.com. Check us out. Sign up for half off the first month, and you could participate in all the trades that we're doing and getting into these trades before you see the aggressive call activity by doing homework and research, which is what we do on a daily basis. Have a great night. See you tomorrow morning. Thank you.